Hey goobers, how you doing? Listen, we're in the car. In the sun, I tried to move because of the sun, but now the sun is like, right across my water shirt. Water. Sounds like the Pac-Man. Water. Today we're doing a quick video. Sometimes I do these because I got enough going on in my own life. I said, let's read about other people's drama. Anonymous gossip drama. And let me throw my opinion out there. Let me throw my hat in the ring. Or whatever. For today's video, we're going to read and react to some stories I found on the Reddit page, Am I the Asshole? It is a thread or a page on the internet where people just literally submit their anonymous stories about, like, stuff that's happening to them. Confrontations, relationships, situations, and they ask for people's opinion. Everyone involved in this story, asshole. All the players. No one is a main character in the story. You guys all seem like villains. I don't know what you're doing. So we're just going to react to a couple of these. I like doing these every so often. I like this one. Funny, lighthearted, and it's about gift giving. We're coming up on that season. 'Tis the season. And here's your reason not to do group gifts. Here we go. Am I the asshole for replacing pictures of my cousins with pictures of my dog? Great hook. You got me. My grandpa's birthday was a couple of weeks ago. 6 weeks before his birthday. 6 weeks! A month and a half. This grandchild is like, gift for grandpa. What does grandpa need? What does grandpa want? What does grandpa need that he doesn't know he needs, but he might want once I make it for him? 6 weeks before his birthday, I texted all of my siblings and cousins, there's 9 of us, holy guacamole, and told them to send me a picture of themselves within the next 4 weeks so I could put it on a phone case for our grandpa's birthday. Oh, a little collage of all the grandkids on a phone case? Cute! So when he's calling you, he can look on the back of the phone case and be like, I think I'm calling Shelly. FaceTime. Shelly, is this you on the back of my phone? No, Grandpa, I'm Caroline. And look at the back of your phone. I'm down by the charging port. That's me, Caroline. 2 weeks later, I sent the text again saying I needed a picture of them, and anybody that chooses not to send a picture will be replaced with a picture of my dog. I had 3 cousins tell me to screenshot something for their Instagrams. I didn't respond. I sent a text out the day before I put in the order. I love this threat of, like, you won't even be on the phone case. The same 3 cousins never sent pictures. Their spots have been my dog in a sombrero, my dog at a pumpkin patch, my dog in a chicken costume. Your dog is very photogenic. Your dog needs his own Instagram page. They came over for my grandpa's birthday and saw him open his new phone case. They saw that their pictures weren't on the case and got mad at me for not picking something off their Instagrams like they told me to. I said that I sent 3 reminders to send a picture with a clear warning of what I would do. My grandpa finds it hilarious, but their parents are telling my parents that I kept them off the phone case on purpose and they want me to apologize. So am I the asshole? No! Are you kidding? You didn't need to put this in a Reddit thread because you already know the answer. You're very good at communicating. You're very good at storytelling. So you gave them 3 different reminders to send you a picture. And your cousin's being like, just screenshot of something off my Instagram. How about you screenshot something off your Instagram? I'm trying to give you the option to screenshot a picture that you like, or a picture that you're already with the other cousins, or whatever. Why don't you do that? I'm giving you a task. Very simple. Why don't you do the task? Why do I have to do it? Why do I have to scroll through your Instagram? And I don't want to. Who gives a shit? It's not a big deal at the end of the day, but here's a little life lesson for you. But if someone is so on top of the organization, they will be also on top of the act of revenge. They will get, back at you for it. I love picturing this phone case with like 3 children on and a bunch of the same dog picture. I really like that. That probably is a better looking phone case than whatever stupid pictures your cousins would have screenshotted and sent to you. Also, like, why do your cousins' parents care and they want you to apologize? Who gives a shit? Why are you mad at your own kids? Your own kids, they're on their phone all day and they can't send a picture to the other cousin to put a birthday gift together. No. You're not getting mad at this cousin because she has follow through, which is something these parents don't have. Here's what to do, and if it doesn't happen, here's what's going to happen. Well, it looks bad that they're not on the phone case and blah, blah. Who gives a shit? 9 grandkids and all these, like, parents. The grandpa got 1 gift for his birthday and it was a phone case. I'm sorry. Don't distract from the fact. Oh, the only gift that anyone gave him was a phone case. Y'all couldn't buy him like a box of chocolates he likes, or can't buy him a shirt in his favorite color. Y'all decided to dogpile on the idea of this phone case and then not follow through with it, but then slap your name on the card. No. Dumb. No, you're not a jerk at all. Let's do this one since we're in the kitchen. Am I the asshole here? Imagine starting a conversation and being like, am I an asshole? Tell me if I'm being an asshole. You're like, oh, yeah. Maybe, kinda. Am I the asshole for not putting away clean dishes? There's a bunch of clean dishes right here. Got a clean dishwasher right here. I'm a little busy because I'm filming, but it's clean. So I, female 24, have a roommate, female 22, who's pretty cool and chill. There's your problem right there. You don't need a roommate that's pretty cool and chill. You need someone who's organized and timely, or timeless. I don't know. So somewhere in the middle. I met her through a friend. Oh, through a mutual. And was needing someone to rent a room from the house I was living in. It has been all good. Well, not if you're writing onto a Reddit page. I am not the one to clean someone else's dishes. I don't mind to help out when need be, but I do already clean the counters and kitchen sink on a daily basis when possible. I started to notice my roommate would wash her dishes and let them sit to dry and dry and dry. They have started to stack up, and I have felt conflicted on asking if she knows where everything goes, and is that why it just sits there? It just throws me off, and I don't even have space to let the dishes dry when I wash my own stuff. I don't know how to approach the situation. I know I could just be the bigger person and put them away, but it would be another time of me just doing it and letting her see that it's okay to do that. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Maybe I don't understand how she sees stacking clean dishes and letting them sit out defeats the purpose of a clean kitchen. Oh, I guess you could look at it as like a clean kitchen means there's nothing in the sink, even if the dishes are clean in the sink. I don't think my brain connects them that way, where it's like the kitchen could be clean, but there could still be clean dishes. I mean, I know my own kitchen. I know that these dishes on this side of the sink are clean, right? These are the clean ones. And we like pull from here to use them. Like there's a pizza cutter. I'm sure someone will make a pizza in the next 2 days. This glass of water gets rotated. It's like the one that we fill to fill the dog bowl. Speaking of which, this water bottle, is there stuff in it? I used this water bottle like a week ago, and then it got cleaned and it's been sitting on the counter. I could put it away in this cupboard right here. I might do that as we speak. If it's the roommate's dishes, she should put them away. Are you guys sharing sets of plates? Like when I was in college, we had like communal plates, I guess. Like one person had like brought a bunch of silverware, so we all used the silverware. Hold that thought. We had to move to my bathroom. My dad came home, and since the kitchen is a communal space, I don't like to film in there when like my family's home, so that they're free to walk about the house and they're not in the back of the videos talking about communal spaces. If she's cleaning her own set of dishes and then not putting them away, but is she also taking from her own clean pile of dishes to then make the next meal, or is she just like, she used all of her dishes that she owns. She cleaned them all. They're all drying and she's never put them away or used them again. That's a whole difference. Like, how did you only use the set of dishes one time and you're done? You're done with the dishes? How about, because you don't know this person, you know this person through a mutual person, how about you guys just have a talk about the kitchen? To be like, I don't know if you realize, but I've been wiping down the sink and the countertops pretty much daily. That's how I like to keep the kitchen. But yeah, that's what I do. What do? You don't put your own clean dishes away. You think you could start doing that? Us sharing a kitchen of a communal space would be like, if you use a dish, then you wash and dry the dish in a timely manner, and then you also put the dishes away in a timely manner. That's such what a weird concept too, to be like, they're not just dirty dishes in a sink, which I feel like is such a common thing for roommates, because I feel like one person doesn't do it as timely as another person wants it done, or they just don't clean the dishes at all, and there's just always dirty dishes in the sink. That would be a dirty kitchen. But to have them clean, but to not put them away, I feel like that's an expectation of you that you should just voice. But maybe do it in a way that's not like, hey, let's have a talk about the kitchen. How come you don't do this, this, and this? How about just have a talk and be like, hey, let's just talk about the kitchen because it's a communal space. And I just like hope that you're cool with a couple things that I was doing. I really only clean the countertops like you said once a day, like once a week. I really only fill the salt and pepper shakers like once a month. Is that cool with you? Bring up stuff that you do to have a mutual conversation about the kitchen, and then also have them start talking, and then be like, yeah, and like also like I notice that you leave your dishes out like when they're dry. Do you think you could put those away like once they're done drying that same day, so that when I wash my dishes they have a place to go? Because I just feel bad like putting all your stuff away and like handling all your stuff, unless they're communal dishes, and then it's like, well, you could put them away, you're also using them. I don't think you're an a-hole at all. Sounds like you're a pretty good roommate. You're cleaning the kitchen constantly. I just think you need to have a mutual conversation and set the ground rules of how the kitchen should be used, like in what timely fashion do we, Interesting one, because they're still clean. Although I would argue if clean dishes sat in a clean sink for like ever, for like 2 weeks, I'd be like, let's rinse them one more time. Let's rinse them, because I don't know, people be breathing all up in here, and I could have been making spaghetti, and I could have, that spaghetti, when the sauce hits the sink, and I give it a good rinse, it splatters onto the clean dishes. I don't, just have a talk. I think maybe your roommate, that's just how they think. They're like, well, the dishes are clean. That's it. I'm done. Maybe they just don't think about the kitchen like you think about the kitchen. And also, because you don't know this person, it's a roommate from a mutual friend. You guys have no basis of a friendship to like have that type of conversation or that call out. You have to dance around it and be confrontational in a mutual way, where you're like, this is what I've been doing in the kitchen. What are you doing in the kitchen? Because I can see what you haven't been doing, and that's putting your dishes away. Okay. Moving on. This one says, am I the asshole for not giving my friend a ride? Sure. I, 17 male, recently got my license. Good for you. A bunch of my friends either don't drive or don't drive to school because they don't want to pay to park at school. A bunch of my friends and I were hanging out, and my buddy joked I could give our friend Bella's in quotes, that's not her name, sure, Bella a ride home. Bella lives in the opposite direction of me, so I wouldn't really offer to take her because it would mean I would get home like an hour later. You're driving an hour out of your way to drop somebody off. That's not how it works. Unless you live in like the rural town, which maybe they do. I just got my license and suddenly I'm a chauffeur for you. I gotta drive an hour out of my way to get you home? No. Do you have another option? How are you getting around this town before I got my license? Let's think about that. I'm not the damn community bus. Also, like, you gotta pay for gas, wear and tear on the car. Did you ask your parents if you can just be driving an hour out of your way? Yeah, okay. I didn't want to make a big deal of it, so I joked, sure, for $10. Bella said she'd pay, so I was on the hook to give her a ride. Okay, great way to get out of that. Yeah, I'll drive you home for $10. That's not a bad price. Cheaper than an Uber. It was annoying, but $10 is $10, so whatever. Yeah, when you're 17, yeah, sure. When I was on my way to my car where Bella said she would meet me, I got a text from her saying that she didn't really want to pay $10 for a ride home, so she was going to get the bus. I thought, great. Exclamation. I don't have to go out of my way and back, so I texted back, okay. When I got to school, so I think this is from school, a ride home from school. Right. She's taking like the school bus home, which is a service they provide for people who don't have cars, licenses, transportation options, and it's a safe way to travel. When I got to school the next day, everyone was acting weird. My buddy, the one who offered me up for the ride in the first place, said that I was an asshole and that I should have just taken her and not made her ride the bus. The rest of our friends are also mad at me for not giving her a lift, and one even accused me of leaving her stranded at school, even though she got the bus and got home fine. I know this because we texted that night and she was fine. So am I the jerk in the situation? What are you talking about? How is she getting home from school before this? Taking the bus? Why can't she take the bus again? Also, like, your friends volunteering you and your time in your car? What is that about? Oh, the rest of your friends getting home. What are they walking? Scootering? Also, unless that Bella girl turned around to the friends and was like, yeah, then he like really wanted me to pay $10. I thought he was joking and then I got stranded at school. Unless she told a story like that and everyone is just like, yeah, that is a jerk move. Like, he definitely could have done that. And if you're gonna drive someone home once from school, you're gonna do it more times. You're gonna get roped into it more often. Don't make a habit out of it and make a routine out of it unless you like need to get home really fast one day and you're like, can you drive me? It would be a lot faster if you drove me and I'll pay you that $10. You're not a jerk for that at all. For him to go back to school and get ganged up on, I would never ever want to drive anyone from that friend group anywhere, ever. You ruined it. I didn't even start handing out rides to people, and now I gotta cut everybody off. Rude. I think people in the comments under that were like, no, let it blow over, because the next day everyone's gonna be mad at somebody else for another stupid thing that makes no sense and doesn't matter in the grand scheme of life. Like, let it go. This is like a young person's problem, right? I can't see why you're the jerk in that situation unless Bella said it. The first thing I thought of was like, why would your friend volunteer you to drive her home? I thought maybe the girl likes you. The whole rest of the friend group knows that she likes you, and that was a roundabout way for you guys to spend time together. And then you do look like a jerk for trying to charge her $10 just to hang out with you because she likes you. But how would you know any of that? And that wasn't in this story, so I doubt that's the case. But the first thing I thought of was like, well, maybe they're trying to like make you guys a couple. You're basically charging her to go on a date with you, and the date was the car ride home. I don't know. But if that girl cannot just communicate that, you probably shouldn't date her in the first place. That's poor communication. At least the girl was like, hey, I don't actually want to pay you $10, so I'm just gonna take the bus. The bus is a viable option. Since what, does the bus not work ever since this kid got his license? Also, I love the fact that right up top, he's like, yeah, no one else either drives or doesn't drive because they don't want to pay for parking. I have to pay for park. If he's parking at school, he has to pay for parking, right? If you guys want to get rides from me, you guys should also be kind of paying into my parking at the school since I'm like your own personal Uber driver. I don't know what to think of this because I'm not married. Here's the situation. My in-laws want to take only my husband to the Bahamas for 11 days and leave me and the kids at home. Am I wrong for being angry? First of all, 11 days, a vacation for 11 days? My in-laws asked my husband to go on vacation with them and said they wanted it to be just them and their kids, meaning like these two old people and their sons. They have 3 sons. The guy in the story, married to this woman who's writing, his 2 younger brothers, so he's the oldest of 3. My husband claims they guilted him into it. Meanwhile, me and our 3 children will be left at home and I will have to take all of the responsibilities of them. I work full time. Be on your own for 11 days with 3 kids working full time? Well, if your husband has the money to go on vacation to the Bahamas for 11 days, you must also find the money to hire a nanny or a caretaker for 11 days. I don't know, or a maid to come deep clean the house at least once during all that. What are we talking about? I work full time, and during that time, our daughter has surgery on her eyes. Life-changing. What kind of surgery would be a nonchalant surgery of the eyes? Her eyeballs? What? And she doesn't get into details about what the surgery is, but I'm sure it's not some nonchalant surgery surgery. That'd be really hard to explain to your daughter when she's a teenager, to be like, oh yeah, remember the time you got surgery on your eyes? Your dad wasn't here because he was in the Bahamas drinking, margaritas with his parents. How the hell would this woman for 11 days work full time and take care of 3 kids and have her kid go to the hospital to get surgery and the recovery time? If there's this many questions, then you're in the wrong. There's your answer. You're in the wrong. Here's the deal. It's not going to work. I've been angry with him for 3 days now for agreeing to go. He thinks I should be over it by now. Is he right? No! So now the problem is that he's for sure going because his parents guilted him into it. I don't give a shit. You're a grown adult with 3 kids. You don't have a backbone. You can't say no to your parents. It just doesn't work like that. Once you get to a certain point in your life where you have a family of your own, you're not going on family vacations, just the old school kick throwback family unit of you and your siblings. Do your 2 younger brothers not have wives, girlfriends, boyfriends, spouses, kids of their own? Maybe they don't. Maybe he's the oldest and also has he's the only one with a family. That's just so rude. I feel like the parents told her husband behind her back about the trip to Bahamas and then guilted him into it, and then he had to report back to his wife because the parents knew they were in the wrong and knew that if they said it in front of her, she'd be like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I don't know who that you think you are. I would be so mad. I'd probably get divorced, honestly. Not only are you leaving me for 11 days, long vacation. You can't leave the vacation or you can't show up late, whatever. Now, if the parents that want to go to the Bahamas are paying for all 3 of the boys to go, whatever. Point to you. But this trip is not a freebie. This trip is going to cost the whole family because I'm hiring somebody to clean for the week, or as soon as you get back from your vacation, I'm going somewhere for 11 days. You won't hear from me. I'm going to an undisclosed location. The top 2 points of contention in this whole thing is not even the trip itself. That is something that'll get back to the kids later on. There is going to cause a point of contention, and when these kids are older, there is going to be a day where they tell the story about this, and they're going to be like, that's kind of fucked up. That's so stupid. Why would grandma and grandpa do that? Exactly. That's one of those stories that's going to become family lore, that his daughter's getting eye surgery and he's not going to be there. I don't care if it's the easiest surgery in the world. I don't care if it's a little blip in time. I don't care if the surgery takes 1 minute. It's probably such a big deal to this daughter, and it's a big deal to the mom. Emotions are high and we're worrying, and it's a big to-do. That whole day is going to be stressful. He would come back from that little Bahamas trip with some divorce papers on his desk. That's crazy town, USA. Who picked 11 days? Do we need to start asking people that before we get married to them? We're like, and what do your family vacations look like? You take a month off every June. And who affords that? You just can drop all your responsibilities? Okay, cool. Who gets and who usually gets invited to these vacations? The OG family vacations. Once a year for a month in June. Awesome. Okay, cool. We're not getting married. We're not that. Either that changes or we're not getting married. Either you say bye-bye to these types of vacations and you get with the program and you make some compromises, or we don't say I do, because I can't do that. That's crazy. If I married somebody and they're like, if I'm going to travel with a family, we have to go international. What the hell? Would it be the royal family? We got money trees growing in the backyard? What are you talking about? The fact that he probably just came home and he was like, so I have to go to the Bahamas for 11 days next month. She's like, what the fuck was this a fever dream? Did you dream this? He goes, no, I was just at my parents' house. They're making me go to the Bahamas with them for 11 days. Also, what are y'all doing as a family in the Bahamas for 11 days? Y'all just gonna sit around the hotel, your little all-inclusive, all-exclusive hotel and just drink at the swim-up bar? How much family time do you need? Because this family actually needs you. You have 3 kids and one's getting a surgery and I can't do it all by myself. This family needs you. Even though she's so busy, works full-time, and has 3 kids and one's getting a surgery, I still think she could find time within that 11 days to contact a divorce lawyer and get the paperwork started. I know she can. I know she can. Wild stories. Wild story time. I also couldn't imagine being that woman and telling her friends about this situation. They'd be like, yeah, so Derek's leaving for 11 days to go to the Bahamas. If I was her friend, I'd be like, are we burning his shit in the front lawn, or are we just giving it away to Goodwill? What are we doing with his stuff? Do you want to pawn off your wedding ring for a couple of bucks so we could go on our own little girls trip vacation? Or do you want to melt the wedding ring down and we can use the metal to make a steak knife? Let's do this one. This one says, am I the asshole for crafting during meetings? Crafting. I'm thinking immediately paper mache. You're sitting in a meeting and you sit down and you got a stack of newspapers and you're just dipping them in the glue gray mixture and you're slapping it on, getting all over people's notes, and you're like, I'm making a paper mache bobblehead of our boss for the Christmas party. We're gonna turn it into a piñata and we're gonna smack him and all of our bonus checks are gonna fall out. That's what I thought of. Let's read. So I work in a mainly office setting and we have a lot of meetings, video conferences, and online training, which is primarily in video format. I've always needed something to do with my hands thanks to ADHD, and if I I don't, then I cannot focus on things that isn't reading properly, which is ironic because I also have dyslexia. Whoa, okay, you got the gambit. I've also been crocheting and knitting since I was little, and it's something I do a lot while at home watching TV and movies because it helps me focus. You can't even watch movies without getting distracted? Oh, okay, that's a tough case. In college, I used to crochet and knit in lectures because it helped, and no one seemed to have a problem with it. The lecturers actually encouraged it when I asked and said as long as it helped me focus, I could do whatever I wanted. Well, there you go. Isn't that literally the answer is that she's asking permission. She was in college being like, hey, I know that you're teaching a class. I can't focus unless I'm like knitting. I'm sure I could do other things, but knitting seems to be my thing. Can I do that? They say it's okay and you get good grades and pass the class. That's fine. So now she's in her career field trying to do the same thing. So I decided I was going to take it into work with me to see if it would help me focus more in meetings and not get distracted during them. They're very long meetings going up to 4 hours. 4-hour meetings? In what world do you guys stop for breaks? Isn't there like a mandatory 15-minute break you guys have to take? You got to pick up smoking just so you could leave the building for 5 minutes? What the hell? And usually I mentally clock out within the first half hour. Me too, sister. I'd be like, listen, if we're settling in for 4 hours, I'm wearing my comfy shoes. I'm bringing a pillow for my back. I'd be coloring. I'd be knitting. I'd be on my little Pinterest board, swiping away, pinning stuff. Side note, I had brought up in supervision that I had trouble focusing, and my manager was actually the one that recommended I find something to do with my hands and okayed it. It's very interesting that she is so open with her bosses to be like, we have these meetings. I mentally clock out within the first half hour. And I'm telling you I do that because I would love to focus and I would love to pay attention. I know it's part of the job, but I'm having a really hard problem doing that. Most people who work jobs just clock out and don't say anything because they're like, that sounds like the person's talking problem because it's so boring in here, She's like actively problem solving. So her boss basically encouraged it. If that's what you got to do, that's what you got to do. It worked. I was able to focus a lot better and be more involved in the meetings because I wasn't drifting away, just drifting off into la la land. But recently a colleague came up to me and told me to stop. He said it was rude and disrespectful towards everyone in the meeting and our service users, whom the meetings are generally about. Service users? I don't know what type of job this is. I tried to explain that it actually helps me by staying on track and remembering more information. She said, it's not like I'm not participating at all. I don't need to look down at my knitting or crocheting because I've been doing it so long. And she's making really simple pieces, she says. Like nothing, not huge pieces, not a lot of colors. She's doing very simple things. And she doesn't even have to look down because that's how good she is at it. I also will put it down to write, type notes, and if I'm talking. Oh, there you go. Can you imagine you're like knitting something, you're like, well, actually the quarter numbers of the sales finals last week showed a huge decrease in growth of our availability to focus. And that's why I'm knitting a hat, because I need to focus. Anyways, my colleague said he was going to bring it up to the higher ups if I continued, even though I had already cleared up with my manager before I started doing so. Listen. If I was like in a group setting with people and I just like noticed you doing that, I would never be accusatory. You gotta stop that. You have to be curious. You have to ask a question before you make accusations. Hey, I saw that you're like knitting during class and stuff. Is there a reason why you're doing that? Like during work? She would explain herself and be like, okay, cool. So you ran that by your boss and your manager? You sure everyone's cool with that? Yes. I don't care if your coworker's not cool with it, if you're actually doing your job as you say you are. If your boss and the higher ups and the supervisors are fine with it, that's where the conversation should end. What does your coworker care? He's jealous, or he's just like looking for reasons to get you in trouble so that the focus is off him? Why is he even focusing on you and not focusing on work? He got a big old fat crush on you? He wish you would knit him something special? A little stocking to hang by his fireplace in his apartment he owns by himself because he has no girlfriend because he's bad at talking to women apparently, very confrontational man. He wishes you would make him a pair of socks that he could hang as a stocking by his fireplace in his apartment that he owns by himself because he doesn't have a girlfriend because he's very confrontational with women. There's all that. I don't think it's a problem at all. Now, I think some of the comments were like, yeah, but if you're doing it in front of like clients or customers, that might be kind of weird or like disrespectful. People that just don't know what's going on or know that that's not the normal, they'll be like, well, what are you doing? But does it raise questions? Yes. Should it raise concerns? Not if everyone minds their own business. I don't think you're being an a-hole. And I think you're pretty good at reading the room and the situation to be like, I put it down when I'm talking. I put it down when I take notes. I don't like do it in front of clients. The work settings that I'm doing it in are like people like within the company who just know about this thing. And also if you're on like a Zoom call and you're knitting down here, you can just like see like my shoulders moving. I'm knitting a sweater. That should be fine. Because look around, what is everyone else doing while they're listening to the meetings? Tapping pens, doodling, spacing out. They're just typing randomly on their computer. They're probably scrolling like Facebook or something. If it's a 4-hour meeting, I highly doubt that all of your coworkers are not doing something in some capacity to also help themselves focus. Why don't you guys bring up to your bosses that you shouldn't have 4-hour meetings? I'm sure there's a lot of jobs out there that have 4-hour meetings, but could they break it up? Is there a break in between? Could the majority of this meeting be a damn email? Could it be? Could it be an email? Very interesting. Your coworker is an a-hole. If anything, if you want to be the biggest person in the world, you could be like, you want me to crochet you something? What do you need from me? You need a scarf for your Mima? What do you need me to knit you the world's smallest violin? That's what you're doing. Crying in your apartment alone. Crying, complaining. I think that'll pretty much do it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Like and subscribe. I post videos every Monday, Friday on the YouTube, so check them out. Comment down below if you had any different opinions of what I thought about any of those stories. If you got more to tell, maybe your own experience. I crocheted at a meeting one time. Hit me with that. My boss saw it, liked my work, gave me a raise. We're gonna have more meetings where you're gonna crochet more. You're gonna get a big fat bonus. Ow! We're gonna do a couple more stories over on my Patreon if you want to go check that out. And also, I have a podcast with my friend Cole. It's called In Bed with Christine and Cole. Not in your bathroom, but in two twin beds. We're sitting down, we're hooting and hollering. We post every Tuesday, so go check out those episodes if you haven't. More stuff to watch, more stuff to listen to, more content. Love it, love it, love it. You're like fighting him with a knitting needle. First of all, I cast a spell on you, and now your job is gone, gone, gone.